Welcome to VMblog's 2022 Mega Series, and today I have the pleasure of having Krishna Subramanian, the President and COO of Komprise. And today's topic is focused on data management. Thanks for joining today.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
I guess to kind of kick it off, if you would, provide a little background information on the company and tell folks at home what Komprise looks like in 2022 and beyond.
Absolutely. So we started Komprise about 6 years or so ago, and we started it because many of our customers from our last 2 companies, this is our 3rd company together for the 3 co-founders, many of our customers from our last 2 companies told us that they're literally drowning now in unstructured data. Because as you know, Dave, over 80%, I think, of the world's data today is not sitting in a database. It's things like video files, audio files, genomics data, self-driving car data, and all of this, which is, what we broadly call unstructured, meaning it has a variety of structures. And it's really caught a lot of businesses by surprise because a lot of the technologies that we have for storage and backup and data management are focused more on structured database type of data. And unstructured data, people have just thought we can just keep it forever and it'll just be okay. But they're realizing it's not okay because there's so much of it. It's growing so fast that costs are spiraling out of control. Many enterprises don't know what unstructured data they actually have, what's important and what isn't. And also, many of them are now modernizing and going to the cloud, and they don't know what data to keep in the cloud and how to use the cloud to get more value out of this data. So those are the problems we solve for customers. How do you manage the cost of unstructured data? How do you get visibility into unstructured data? And how do you realize value from unstructured data?
And so you talked about the value add that you guys provide. What are some of the most common use cases that you're hearing from your customers about your product?
Yeah, I'll give you a great example of one of our customers, Pfizer. We all know, COVID is still here with us, what now, 3 years into this pandemic, unfortunately. And we know, Pfizer developed a life-saving vaccine. But what you probably don't know is that every single day, scientists at Pfizer generate over 10 terabytes of data. That's like generating several billion photos every single day and having to store and manage all of that, right? So it's pretty significant. And Pfizer decided not to build any more data centers. A few years ago, their CEO said, no more data centers, we got to go to the cloud. So the Pfizer IT team actually brought Komprise in because we were able to analyze all the data sitting on their network attached storage across their different data centers. We were able to show Pfizer that even though they had tens of petabytes of data, over 60% of that data had not been touched in over 2 years. And so that was the low-hanging fruit that we could start tearing off to the cloud, but make it look like it's still local. So that's what many of our customers do. They start with a cloud migration or cloud transformation project, and instead of just lifting everything and shifting it to the cloud, which can be very time-consuming and disruptive, with us, they have a non-disruptive path to the cloud. They're able to start actually taking cold data and offloading that into the cloud while it looks like it's still a local file. And it's sitting as an object in the cloud because we preserve that file object duality. And then we index everything. So now their scientists are able to search and find all the files they need, even if some of that data is sitting as objects in AWS Glacier or AWS S3. And we do something called smart data workflows. So they're able to do they're able to create a workflow to do things like microscopic genomic analysis in the cloud. Or they do a lot of mergers and acquisitions, to enable segmentation of data for legal reasons. So these are the different use cases they're able to enable. But it all started by them saving, I think the first year they saved over $2.5 million by taking colder data and offloading it to the cloud.
And what would you say are some of the biggest challenges that your customers face today?
Yeah, the biggest challenge, I think, for a lot of enterprises is not knowing where to begin with unstructured data. Believe it or not, even though over 30% typically, sometimes 40% of an enterprise's IT budget is spent on data storage and data management. So it's a significant number, but most companies don't know why they're spending that much money on it. They don't know why. And so getting visibility, getting analytics on what you have, knowing what's useful and what's not, knowing what it's costing you, knowing what it will cost you in the future, that visibility is the most important. And that's where we start. That's the first thing we do for any customer. You don't have to move anything. You don't have to do anything. You just you just sign up for our cloud service and literally just point it at your different cloud accounts and at your different data centers. And within minutes, even on petabytes of data, we'll show you what data you have and what's hot, what's cold, what it's costing you, all these things.
And are the enterprise companies that you're working with, do you find that they're having any sort of challenge using cloud-based data lakes or AI or machine learning tools?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's definitely what most customers want to do. They're not there yet. They're on a journey. But why are you keeping all this data around if you cannot use it? There's a big transformation happening with IT itself. For a long time, Dave, you've been in the industry for a long time, and you know this. At first, people were like, oh, the cloud is just a new name for old mainframes. And then people say, well, IT itself is changing. It's going to be IT as a service, but really, all of these things, though it might have sounded kind of contrite, it is happening. There is a shift happening. IT is no longer about just managing infrastructure. The role of IT is rapidly changing. In storage, that means an IT person no longer gets value just by maintaining all the storage boxes and managing backups. Their job is to deliver data services to the business units. Their job is to make it easy for the users to find data, to run machine learning on the data, or to run a cloud data service on it, or to run PII detection on it. So the role of IT has changed from storage management to data services and data management. And we enable that. We enable them to deliver data workflows to their users. So they're no longer just talking about infrastructure.
And how can Komprise help mitigate some of those challenges, like leveraging an affordable analytics platform or generating new value from data?
Yeah, so if you look at the cloud, a lot of the data services in the cloud, like data lakes or data warehouses or machine learning applications or PII and data content processing applications, all these applications, most of them are based on object format because the cloud itself got it started on object, right? That was like S3 is an object-based storage. So 90% plus of cloud services are object-based. And so what Komprise does is most of the data today is file-based. Most of the unstructured data is files, right? So Komprise actually takes those files and seamlessly puts it as objects in the cloud and retains the file metadata and file access to the data. So basically, we give duality of everything. You can see anything as a file or as an object. The reason that's extremely important is because now you can run all the cloud data services that operate on objects on your data without asking your users to change behavior. So it's a seamless path to leveraging data services in the cloud. And we also make it simpler to use those data services because we enable data workflows, because we search all the data, we index it, and we allow you to say, well, I am interested in these genomics BAM files related to this project created in this time frame, and I want to process it through this data lake in the cloud. You can actually set all that up in Komprise, and Komprise will move that right data. It'll search for it, it'll find it, it'll move it, it will let you run even the external Lambda function. It will call that function, operate on it, and then bring the results back. That entire workflow will enable. So that's how we make it easy. We make it easy to search and execute data workflows on unstructured data.
And then sort of thinking about the next 12 months, where do you believe forward-thinking companies, what will they be doing in the next 12 months in unstructured data management and storage?
So I definitely think that forward-thinking companies, many of them actually are leading us in that direction already. Many of our customers are looking at kind of this idea of enabling intelligent data services on unstructured data, no matter where the data lives, and enabling their users to, it's not just about cost savings. It's about enabling users to create faster drug therapies, or get better outcomes, get better autonomous driving apps, whatever the business outcome is, get to that faster and more efficiently using unstructured data. So unstructured data analytics is becoming extremely important, and a lot of the smart customers understand that to get there, they need data management that doesn't munge up the data. They need data management that keeps the data in native form and makes it easy to create data workflows.
And while I have you thinking about sort of future direction, where things are headed, which emerging technology right now do you think holds the most promise once it matures?
I think that there's a lot of talk about AI and machine learning. And I don't know how you feel about it, but like some of the concepts behind AI and machine learning have been around forever. And to me, I think they actually are part of something bigger. And the bigger theme is adaptive automation. And what I mean by that is, you want your algorithms to get better and better. You want them to use more data to become more intelligent, to be self-learning systems, to be closed loop systems, but you don't want to eliminate the human control. So you have to do it in an intelligent way where it doesn't become a rogue automation. So I think adaptive automation is really kind of where all of this is headed towards, intelligent adaptive automation.
As we sort of wrap things up, you've provided a lot of great information today and a lot of things for people to kind of consume and think about more. Where can viewers go after they watch this video if they want to learn more about the company, your technology, or any of the other issues that you discussed today?
Yeah, our website, www.komprise.com with a K, Komprise, is a great place. We try to not just talk about our own product. So there's a lot of articles about kind of the industry and things like that. Also, though, a lot of times, when you read people's websites, they may all kind of sound similar. So I always personally, I like to try a product. I'd like to watch things. I like to try it for myself. I like to understand what is actually going on. And we like our customers to do that as well, and our prospects. So we do have a lot of demos plus free trials, so that you can kind of see what it means to become an intelligent data services company, as opposed to somebody who's just storing data. So if you're interested in that transformation, I would encourage you to actually try it. It's quite simple.
Well, great. Well, thank you again, Krishna, for participating in our VMblog Mega Series discussion. And it was great speaking with you as always.
Likewise, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Take care.